Hey, what's up, guys? Before I dive into telling you all about this amazing opportunities for drummers right now, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and my story. So I began drumming at the age of 8 and haven't stopped for the last 22 years. I was privately taught by a jazz legend named Roy McCurdy. I spent all of my 20s gigging around LA with a variety of bands and local artists. By that time, I had really worked on my drumming skills. I could play solid grooves, I had decent chops, but something was still missing for me that was holding me back as a drummer. So I decided to take a leap of faith and focus on developing a few other skills that I knew very little about, and they actually had nothing to do with playing the drums. I started learning how to record, mix, and produce my own drum recordings from my simple, humble home studio. I called up every mix engineer I knew. I watched hours and hours of training videos on how to record drums and spent tons of time and money investing in this new skill. Then at the same time, I borrowed my wife's DSLR camera and invested in some online video classes on how to shoot professional videos. I went all in on learning these two new types of skills for audio and video production. Then in 2016, I launched FisherDrumming.com to focus completely on starting a new online drum education website. And this is what I want to share with you today. If you have had a similar dream like I had to achieve some type of success with drumming, whether that be growing a bigger online following, earning income from doing what you love, or landing some endorsement deals and getting more connections in the industry, I want to give you the tools you need to get you where you want to go. Number 1, develop your sound and skills on the drums. Number 2, learn how to record, mix, and produce drum recordings professionally from your home studio. And number 3, learn the skills of video recording, editing, and publishing to make pro drum videos for online content. So I've been able to transform my detached office into a drum room that I can record and produce pro tracks for my online drum videos and for recording session work for different artists. I've even produced some of my own music from this room, and no one can tell I recorded these drums in a converted office space. Now let me take a moment to elaborate on each point here so you can get the full picture. I'm going to explain exactly how this works and how these 3 distinct skills will set you up for success as a modern drummer today. Now the first point is the most obvious and fundamental. In order to achieve the rest of these goals, your knowledge of the instrument and your ability to play it must be on point. This doesn't mean you need to be a Matt Garska or an Ellis DePerio, but here's what it does mean. Number 1, you must have a good understanding of how to get awesome sounding drums from your kit. You need to know what heads to use and how to tune your kit to get optimal results. You must build your skills in the key areas like rudiments, time, touch, technique, groove, fills, patterns, and musical application. Now for the sake of time, I'm not going to dig into each one of those subjects, but a lot can be said about each one of those. Maybe you're somebody who knows how to play and has spent time honing in on your craft. Even then, you never want to stop learning and sharpening your skills as a drummer, right? Now a lot of that has to do with how you sound. How good do your drums sound? Both your playing skills and your technical skills of getting the right drum sound really matter in this first point. Okay, let's move on to point number 2. Learn how to record, mix, and produce your drums professionally from your home studio without needing top shelf gear. Did you know that you can get professional drum recordings from your bedroom or practice space? Thankfully today, recording gear is affordable and you don't have to rely on a studio or a mix engineer to track your drums. Let me show you an example of an unmixed drum sound versus a mixed drum sound from the same mics and setup. you notice the massive difference? That's only the mixing process that changed the sound. That's not even including the choice of the drums, tuning, and recording hardware. This is a skill you can learn how to do and get amazing results from your own studio space. If you know how to record and produce pro drums, you can start working with artists who find you on social media and like your sound and style. But these opportunities will never come if your drums sound average, unmixed, or unpolished. Not only will drummers be more inclined to follow you on social, but you'll have songwriters, guitarists, and producers like your content as well. Newsflash, not only drummers notice good sounding drums, guys. Now, getting set up with the right recording gear is key, and you'll want to invest in a good audio interface, a mix of mics for the kit, the DAW software you want to record on, and a pair of studio-grade headphones or studio monitors. Once you have your gear in place and you record your drums, the next step is the post-production mixing process. This is where most of the magic happens to get an amazing drum sound. There are several layers to this process, but once you know it, you have it set up in your DAW, you save those settings and just tweak them for any new recording you're doing. Some of these mixing steps include gain staging, panning, phase correction, EQ, compression, and a few secret plugins that bring warmth, punch, and space to your drum sound. It took me forever to learn these mixing methods and how to apply them to my drum mix, but once I figured it out, it transformed my drum sound from amateur to pro. I had to learn from real mixing engineers who showed me exactly how the pros do it and what plugins they were using to get a modern drum sound that crushed. Number 3, last but definitely not least, the video, recording, editing, and publishing to make pro videos for online content. This can be either a drum educational focused type of content or a more entertainment, music-based path for online content. This means there is more opportunity than ever before to get recognized, get in front of the right people, and to achieve whatever your drumming goals are. However, this also means there is more competition. If you want to stand out and make a name for yourself, you need to create a vibe, something that's authentic and watchable. Once you have that, you're ready to build your online presence like a pro. Instead of keeping it to myself, I decided to create what I call the Modern Drum Academy. I've already broken down what the program is all about by explaining the 3 points of playing, recording, and producing like a pro. If this interests you, then click below where I'll show you the entire course outline, and for a limited time, I'm actually going to give you 5 free lessons in the program. You can start learning right now. Click below to get started in the course for free right now.